Scotchy. We're going to turn it over to Matt Huentelman.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Matt Huentelman, and I really want to appreciate Uncle Scotchy, Eric Garcia, for kicking this off for us. He's been a long-term friend of the MindCrowd project. I'm a scientist. I study genes. I study the genetics of Alzheimer's disease and healthy brain aging. And my laboratory is located in Phoenix, Arizona. And I am also one of the co-founders of the MindCrowd project. MindCrowd is going into its 10th year, and you'll learn more about MindCrowd at the end of the program. But I'm here today to bust a few myths with all of you. And so I'm going to be the first one where we try this, this poll. So let's get right into it. Okay. Aye. Okay, so here's the first question. Is dementia a normal part of getting old? Is that a fact or is that a myth? So this is the first poll. And if we can have folks take a little bit of time to answer that. I think it's 20 seconds or less, something like that. Great, so most of you have answered it. Maybe with my fast fingers here, I gave away the answer. But go ahead and close out that box on your screen. I'll give you a few minutes to do that so you can see my smiling face in my slides. And we'll talk, is this a fact or a myth? And most of you guessed or answered correctly. It is a myth. So dementia is not a normal part of getting old. This is not typical. In fact, only around 10 to 15% of folks suffer from dementia, depending on their age. So I've broken it down a little more deeply for all of you. So if you're between the ages of 70 to 74, it's only 3% of you. If you're between the ages of 80 to 85 to 89, it goes up to 22%, but that's still not a majority at those advanced ages. And then 90 and older, it's still only around 33% or 1/3 of the population. So this is not normal. Dementia is not a typical part of aging. And I have the definition of dementia there for you, which is defined as an impaired ability to remember, think, or make decisions. And really importantly, I've underlined it, it has to interfere with doing your everyday activities. All of us forget where we left our keys, where we left our favorite ink pen. Many of us walk into a room and forgot why we were heading into that room. That's not an impact in your daily life. That is not dementia. I have a couple other stats down at the bottom here that's important for us to remember, and that is that women are slightly more likely to have dementia than men. We know this scientifically. And we also know that non-Hispanic, non-Latino white adults are less likely to develop dementia than other racial and ethnic groups. This is something that we are trying to better understand, but also something that we are trying to better fight by doing research in these understudied groups so that we can better provide answers to them. All right, let's talk about a few more myths or facts. You guys decide. Now, we're not going to do polls for these, so just think how you would answer each of these. So if your mom or dad have dementia, so I'm going to have dementia too. Just because mom and dad have dementia, will I have dementia too? Think about what that might be. And in fact, that is a myth. Just because your parents, one of your parents, or even both of your parents had dementia, it is not a crystal ball for you. It's not a guarantee that you will also get dementia. And this is something that I very deeply study, because what might define if you get dementia is not just your genes although that is a very hot area that we research. It's also your health, your medical, and your lifestyle factors. So we know a whole lot about the genes, but we still don't know everything. So science still needs to learn exactly what is changing your risk for dementia. And the big take-home message here is that it's not only your genes. It is also these other factors, your health, your medical, and your lifestyle choices. So focus on the things that you can control. You can't go backwards in time and change your parents. So let's try and focus on those other factors that are in our control. And that leads me into the last fact or myth question. Can you do anything for dementia? I can't do anything to lower my risk. Am I doomed for dementia if I'm at high risk even today? Is that a fact or is that a myth? You're probably seeing my theme here. This is another myth. There's plenty of things that we can do that science has told us can decrease our risks for dementia. And everyone always wants to see the list. And here, this is not a complete list. These are the main ones. These are the top ones that I think are most important and that science has shown are really helpful for altering your risk for dementia. A couple of these are going to be talked about by the next speakers. So I'm going to give them their time to talk about these. But you can see the list there. There are things you can do today to help lower your risk. Diet is very important. Eating well, eating balanced, and eating varied is really important. Exercise is an incredible drug. It's an incredible therapeutic. It's an incredible way to lower your risk for dementia, both aerobic exercise and strength training. So don't forget to lift those weights as well as doing those walks or runs or bike rides or swims that you do. That's really powerful. Socializing, trying new things, or keep doing the things you like, but with your friends. That's really powerful. Our brains thrive on that, and the health of our brains can be supported by doing things like that. Do the best you can to keep your stress under control. Stress is negative, not only for how you feel, how your body feels, but it also influences your brain and your brain chemistry. So we want to keep our stress under control as best we can. That's probably the most challenging one on the list here for me. If you have other diseases, even diseases that don't affect your brain, maybe there are diseases that you think are primarily affecting your body, work with your doctor to manage those. Make sure you're taking the medicine or doing the things your doctor is telling you. And it's because taking care of these other diseases that you may not even think are related to your brain can help keep your brain healthy too. And lastly, sleep. Sleep is really important. Let's make sure we're getting enough sleep. That's very personal. So somewhere between 7 to 9 hours is probably the right thing, but I think we'll hear a little bit more about sleep later. But it's really important to get enough sleep. The sleep amount that is necessary for you is really critical. Okay, I am going to stop here and hand it off to our next speaker, David Marquez.